Today we're going to be doing some evergreen containers, winter containers. You may have heard them also called spruce pots. We're going to be doing them. I'm going to show you how I do mines in my garden. They're very simple, very easy to recreate, and I'm excited to show you the ingredients and components that I'm going to be using. I'm super duper excited because I love to put together winter arrangements. I've shared before how you can forage your own property, even if you live in the city, and make your own pots. Let's jump right into it. I am so excited, and the smell of these evergreens are just breathtaking. The smell of the evergreens are absolutely just, oh, they smell so good. We'll set these down here and we'll go over all of the ingredients that we have here. For this container, it's very simple. It's going to be very easy to replicate. So let's go over our ingredients. So first we have some magnolia stems here. I love to use the magnolia stems because the magnolia stems have 2 points of interest. So what I mean by that is you're getting color from the leaf, but then you're also getting color from the glossy, the green side here. But then in addition to that, you're also going to get some texture. So you're going to get a different feel and flow of texture when you look at the brown leafing here, the back side of the leaf. And then you're also going to get a totally different texture once you come in and you look at the glossiness of the green side. Now the leaves here from this magnolia is a Bracken's brown, and they are an absolute must. And one of the things that I like about these magnolia leaves is that if you use them in your display this year, you technically can tuck them away, use them in the next year, and they'll be more along the lines of a preserved leaf here. So absolutely love these. Beautiful and gorgeous. In addition to the magnolia leaves, we also have some golden cedar bunches here. Now I like to use these because of that texture. It kind of gives off more of a yellow feel. Can you all see that? I'm not sure how it's coming through the camera. Okay, there we go. So compared to that green that we have in the leaf here, it's completely different. So I absolutely love to use cedars, and they smell absolutely amazing. Now we're also going to be using, let me get it right here for us, a Carolina sapphire. These are some branches from a Carolina sapphire evergreen, and I love them. I love the fact that they have that yellow tinging. Can you see at the end of them? They kind of look like small berries, if you will. There they go. Right here. I love that, and it is a perfect accent for our golden cedar bunches here. Then in addition to that, we're also going to be using some beautiful pine cones. Now these pine cones are frosted, and so I have them in various sizes along with our spider webs, but that's okay. It's going outside. It's easy for us to clean up. And so we're going to be using some of the smaller ones if I can kind of get it out. Let's see. Okay. Now I normally like to store these on their side, but we're going to be using these as well in addition to, and you see all of that combined makes a beautiful contrast. So let's get everything tucked away in the planter. This planter right here is going to be the planter that we're going to do first. So I have my step stool here. So we'll get this all out, get this assembled here, click this together, and we'll start going over the steps. There is a little bit of preparation that's going to be involved with your winter greens, but not very much. Now, if you know you're going to be planting your winter greens the day before, best practice is to go ahead, bring them home, process them. Kind of similar to how you would do a fresh cut floral arrangement. Go ahead, soak them in some water. That way your evergreens will just take up the moisture and they'll be able to just go the whole length of the winter time. But if you don't have time, don't worry about it, because I'll show you what you can do, walk you through the steps if you're doing like a last minute arrangement, like if you need a fresh evergreen arrangement by the front entryway and company's going to be here in like 45 minutes, baby, you ain't gonna have time to soak. So we're gonna jump right into it just like that, okay? So first, remember, when you are doing your arrangements, okay? When you're doing your arrangements, everything gets a fresh cut. Let me say this again for the people in the back. Everything gets a fresh cut. One more time for the people in the back. Everything gets a fresh cut.
One more time for the people in the back. Everything gets a fresh cut.
Now, what I mean by that is you're going to come in and you are going to take your pruners, your scissors, your wire cutters, whatever you have on hand, and you just give it a nice little cut. Fringe it around a little bit so they can stretch. They've been boxed up, they've been in shipping. And then in order to stretch what you have, go ahead and any stems that's like this, go ahead and give it a second clip. So just like this, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start on this pot here. I'm super duper excited because we're moving on into winter. I almost forgot, while I'm prepping this sapphire, if you are allergic to the sap that comes out of evergreens, throw some gloves on and some long sleeves. When I tell you, you will be itching for days, like scratching, and it's just not worth it. I mean, of course, you could probably put some hydrocortisone cream on top of it to help calm it down, but why even go through that? And also remember, like, I'm handling these evergreens raw, so I'll have this scent on my hand for a little while, but there's something that you can do to fix that as well too. Bloop! Once you have your cut, you want to take and you want to stick it directly into the soil. Everything that you stick in, it's very important that it makes contact with the soil, okay? Here is what the container looks like. So we have our frosted pine cones, our magnolia stems, our golden cedar, and it's like that all the way 360 around. Now, in order to fill out the top, we are going to add just a little bit more to embellish it, to make it a little bit fuller. I did want the evergreens to kind of come out through the top. Now, you can cut those back, but what we'll do is we'll take off a few of our hydrangeas, since this is our hydrangea area. You can definitely use hydrangeas. You can take your hydrangeas, you can paint your hydrangeas. I've done that before as well, but adding hydrangeas to a pot is classic. So if you want to add your hydrangea, I'm going to give you just show you for example. So you would come in, and I like to find one that kind of has like a longer stem, and I just go ahead and just make a real quick cut just like this. And I'm going a little bit longer for the height. You will come in with your hydrangea and you just take it, again it gets the cut, and you just stick it in there. And so we don't need very many. We just want to pay homage that is hydrangeas over there. So it gives us a little bit of pomp and circumstance at the top here. This is what we look like up close from the top. We have everything tucked in here. And I almost forgot to show you all. You want to make sure, it's very important that every single stem is actually touching the soil here. Now let's go ahead and water this baby in. So we'll just go ahead, we'll get some water, and you want to make sure you keep your greens watered. Let me go cut this off. All right. I have totally been up since maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, you guys. So I really feel like I worked hard for this coffee. But I wanted to add to what I was saying outside, because we did not have a chance to do this on the camera. In order to give our wintergreens a little bit of longevity, I like to follow up once I soak them, once I give them their fresh cut, stick them in the soil, and then I water them in. I like to go in and I like to use these two products right here. They are my best friends when it comes to keeping my wintergreens all winter long, because if you don't water them, then what's going to happen is they're going to dry out, and you definitely don't want to do that, considering that some of these evergreen pots can become very expensive. So what we have here is we use some Will Stop, and this is the concentrate formula. And you want to go in and spray any of your evergreen pots, your winter pots, your spruce pot, however you call them. Go ahead and spray some of this on there. And what it does is it helps reduce moisture loss. And that's what's going to keep your winter greens looking good. If you can't find the wilt stop, then you can also use the wilt proof. Now, I use both, so it depends on what I have on hand. So if I have wilt stop on hand, then I'll use the wilt stop. If I have wilt proof on hand, then I'll use the wilt proof. And I know I said I used the wilt stop, but I actually use the wilt proof for those evergreens outside. But I like to keep this in stock because I do a lot of winter greens. So many different uses that you can use your wilt stop or your wilt proof. So this container right here was $18.99. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but the place where I got it from is more on the pricey side. But I just had to snag some. I knew I was running out, and I went ahead and I got some wilt proof. Now, for me, these are definitely a must to use. And when I tell you they are definitely worth it, we're planning for surgery tomorrow. So I do have a few more things that I have to get done, but I wanted to definitely sit down and enjoy some coffee. Just take everything in because tomorrow is going to be just such a big day. And I wanted to get more done than I actually got done, but it just wasn't in the cards today. Just tying up loose ends and everything. We'll head to surgery in the morning, and then after surgery, I'm going to try to get as many things as I have knocked out. When I tell you, my family is definitely going to steal. If you guys have been praying for my family, if you believe in the power of prayer, some people don't believe in the power of prayer. But please continue to pray for myself and my family because we are really going through it right now. I'm going to sit back and enjoy this cup of coffee, and we'll pick this back up in the morning. We're going to start the day off. We just got out of surgery. So we're going to make our way to the car and start our first project. If I can find the car, dag. I can't remember where I parked. We've been here so long. Maybe I need to push the button to figure out where we're at. start off right here. Have these spirals here. They're running $88. Not too bad. They're in a spiral shape. Then they have some smaller dwarf Alberta spruces for $16.98. Let's keep looking. Then around this way, it looks like some more dwarf Alberta spruces for $34.98. A big dually truck is passing by. Let's let it go on about its way before we keep talking. So some Alberta spruces this way, and that stretches all the way down here. Some more spirals. But what type of conifer is this right here? Okay. We have another Alberta spruce that's more along the lines. The stems stick out more than these smaller ones. So these were more than likely trimmed into that shape because these look completely different than the ones on the side. Let's go back this way. So here are some winter berries right here for $16.98. Some Golthera. These are running $16.98. And then some Gold Coast English Holly for $16.98. Some more spruce trees. Yep, it's a dwarf Alberta spruce for $78. Here are some more evergreens. And these are in a red container. These are in silver. But we did the silver last year, so we're definitely going to pivot to something completely different than the silver that we did last year. Then right here, here's some emerald green arborvitaes for $44.98. A larger size than the other ones that we seen. And some more emerald green arbs. And some dwarf Alberta spruces here. The same ones for $78 with the silver pot at the bottom. Here are some smaller dwarf Alberta spruces for $16.98. So they definitely don't have what we're looking for. Let's go on the inside and see if it's anything different that they have out here. It kind of looks bare just from looking in there. So if we look in there, it really looks bare. So let's see if they have anything. I do see some greenery going in. So let's see what they have. So right here in the front, again, some more Alberta spruces for the $16.98. And then they have some more English holly over here, $16.98. So it is the same size. None of the Christmas trees are up yet or out yet. They have everything just set up, but there's nothing there. Over here, some more spruces. So yep, some more dwarf Alberta spruces, but these are actually a little bit larger, and they're $19.98. And another emerald green arb for $44.98. Now here's some blue princess holly, some wooden snowmans, some birch logs, some reindeer, wooden reindeer, Christmas lights, pine cones, and the rest of what's left over for fall. So no Christmas trees out yet, but they definitely have a lot of lights. So let's head inside and see if they have anything that we're looking for on the inside. Now on the inside here, of course, plenty of house plants. And then they have some, let's see, Norfolk Island pines. So they have these set out, and these are running, how much are they? Can we find a tag in here? $24.98 for these. And for the smaller versions, these are, for the small size, $12.98. I am not seeing any wreaths. I wanted to find a wreath, but I'm not seeing any here. Some amaryllis bulbs with the glitter and so on them. Christmas trees, but no wreaths. Any down this way, and a ton of birds. Baby, look at all them birds. I feel like I'm in my back garden. I mean, they probably back there with the bird. Yep, with the bird seeds. You see it right there on that wall? Bird feeders and bird seeds. So they in there getting their lunch. Lunch.